What's good? God is good. I'm your host, Jay Did It. Welcome to Thursday Therapies, a podcast for all creatives, writers, rappers, poets, artists, activists, Sacramento Community Therapy Session. Today, I have Diamond Key, a multifaceted, both on and off the stage. She is dedicated to using her creative expression as a means of empowerment and inspiration. Diamond's work revolves around creating community through upliftment and joy, already drawing comparison to Warsan Shire, India, Arie. Her thought-provoking poetry, soulful melodies, and captivating vocals have gained her the attention of Northern California's poetry, soul, and hip-hop fans alike, anticipating the release of her first solo recording. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Welcome. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Your vocals are amazing. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
Every time I see you, I'm like, there she go again.
Thank you.
I love it. So, welcome to Thursday Therapies. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
Great. How was your weekend?
It was great. Filled with a lot of music and poetry and community. Yeah.
Community. I love that. Yeah. That's dope. So, how's your week going?
My week's going good.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Got the Monday blues?
Yeah. Well, I worked a full day and then went to work, and then we working now. So,
right. Hustle and grind for sure. Go to work 9 to 5. Go to work, hustle, side job. Go back to work, art job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. So, as you know, Thursday Therapies is a discussion on mental health awareness. I want to ask you some questions and get your outlook on mental health.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
That feels good.
Okay,
feels
cool.
Good.
So, when did you become aware of mental health, and how old were you?
Yeah. So I believe, there were like discussions of mental health when I was 8, because I started going to therapy when I was 8, and then returned when I was 12, and then around 19 when I moved to Sacramento, I really started to become more aware of mental health and what it truly meant. Because I started interning at Soul Collective, which is an art and activist organization, and I got to meet a lot of poets and musicians and activists there, and we really talked about self-care and mental health and what that really looks like. And yeah, that's how I became fully aware,
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Soul Collective. That's a dope place.
Yeah.
It's just bringing more awareness to it and the community, and, just having that nice outlet. That's dope. That's dope. So, how did your family handle mental health issues in your home?
Yeah. So my family, I come from a very long line of Christians. Our denomination is Church of God in Christ, Kojic, and those folks, they're like, hey, you gotta wear your dress down to your ankles, just be not prim and proper, but just have a sort of an air of like respect and for oneself, essentially, but with that comes a lot of you're too young to be sad, you're too young to feel this way, like you need to go do something, like there's so many things that you can do. And a lot of like mental health struggles were pushed under the rug and pushed under Christianity, because essentially like depression isn't real, that's just the devil,
Right.
And so you pray the devil away. You said just let go and let God. And I often believe in prayer, and I still have reverence for that side of where I come from, but there's got to be another way. There has to be another way. So
definitely I 100% agree, but taking care of yourself and self-care, mind, body, and soul. So having all those outlets, definitely seeking therapy and getting help, and your body, physical activity, and your soul, a higher power. Definitely, I believe in God, and many people believe in what they believe in, but overall, I think when you're connected with different aspects of self-care, you know, reaching out different places, it definitely helps more, because like it's not just mental health, or it's not just physical health, or it's not just, you know, the demons inside of you. It's definitely a whole lot of things, you know. Survival is a motherfucker. I'm sorry, but you know, just survival and trying to survive, you really gotta get, you know, you really gotta get help from many different places. You know,
you have to.
And yeah, definitely. I believe that. So, did you ever have to witness any disparities of mental health in your home or in your community?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I just, actually, there's a few instances where I had to witness a lot of mental health disparities. Like one, I was visiting my father. Like, my parents divorced when I was very young, and at the time, he was married to someone else, and they decided to have be not step parents, but foster parents. And I witnessed a lot of the children in the system struggle with mental health, and watch them go through pain and depression and anxiety, and, you know, all these mental health things that, you know, kind of get pushed onto them because they're dealing with so much, and a lot of them having to be put on medication, and really a lot of them didn't need the medication, to be honest with you, but it was just really hard seeing so many kids my age kind of be drugged up,
right,
almost in a state where they were not even themselves,
right,
you know. And then another instance with my my uncle, who passed away for reasons that the family doesn't really talk about, and learning now that he was a poet, so I got to read some of his poetry, and a lot of the things that he was talking about, you know, were he was just asking God, or he was just asking, like, can please give me energy to do these things, and please give me energy to wake up every day and to see my children, and oftentimes he was using sleep as a coping mechanism to deal with everyday life, and, you know, I tend to do that as well. You know, sometimes, you know, we can use sleep as a, like, all right, well, I'm gonna just deal with this another time, and I'm gonna go to sleep, you know, and which can be good, but it can be very debilitating.
Definitely. It's an escape. You know, I do it sometimes too. It's just like, because the pressures of the world, it's just like, I don't want to wake up and deal with what I got to deal with. You know, this shit is tough.
Yeah.
Life is tough. You know, life is really tough. And it's just like, you don't have to suffer in silence, you know, and it's sad because a lot of people don't really understand what mental health is, and that's why it gets pushed under the rug so much. And so that's why people are suffering in silence, is because they feel like they can't get the help, you know, the help they really need, or the help they deserve, or they just don't know how to get the help, you know, or reach out for help. So many people do suffer in silence, you know, and it's very hard. Even when you do get the help you need, it doesn't go away. Mental health doesn't go away, you know, you still have to deal with it on a daily basis. But, you know, getting the help to manage it and learn coping skills and learning different things to be able to manage it is out there, but it's definitely difficult.
Yeah.
Definitely difficult. And I want to speak on, like you said, the children, putting them on medications at such a young age. It's just like, you don't even know what they're still developing. And it's very heartbreaking to me, because that's what happened with me. They tried to put me on Prozac when I was 12 years old, and my mom didn't believe in that. You know, she was like, we don't believe in that. You're not taking those pills. And it's just like, there was stuff going on in my mind, you know, in my body. And I was acting out in different ways. There was different, deeper stuff that had happened to me, you know, so I was acting out in different ways. But she wouldn't let me take that medication at such a young age. And I'm glad I didn't, because like you said, you just see kids who are just there, like zombies, not really themselves. And, they're not even developed yet. So it's just really sad to see.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel, oh, wow. It made me feel like I was witnessing something that I would have to think about when I was older. Because a lot of them confided in me in what they were going through, and like the things that they had done and had gone through up until getting to where they were. Yeah. A lot of them would run away and either like do drugs and like were trafficked and like just introduced to things that they should have never been introduced to, and they really just needed loving parents and loving homes and
a loving community.
Yeah, exactly. It was really hard. It was really, really hard. And also to speak, like, during that time, like, I when I was around 12, I had gotten an ADHD. They were saying I had ADHD, a diagnosis, and they were trying to put me on either Adderall or Ritalin, and I was taking it for a while, and I guess it was doing what it was supposed to do. But after a while, after like doing some checkups, they're like, no, we need to take her off of this because she's showing signs of depression. And I feel even after taking me off of it, like my brain chemistry wasn't like the same. Right. I feel like it wasn't the same because it was still dealing with the same emotional issues, So,
and that's the hard part, I think, because I didn't take any medications because my mom instilled that, like, we're not taking that stuff, and that's what the stigma is just like, you don't want to be pumped up with a whole bunch of drugs, or, you really don't know what you're putting in your body. And at such a young age, you just don't know what to do. Like, my mom didn't know what to do, so I didn't take that medication. And up until adulthood, I wouldn't take those medications because I was scared to take them. But I was at such a low point in my life. I found myself at such a low point in my life. I didn't know what else to do but to take the medication. So it's like, I don't knock the medications for adults. Like, if you're trying to reach out for help and, get that balance, because it's a chemical imbalance in your mind. But as an adult, you should be able to advocate for yourself and get that kind of help. And then, you're more in tune with your emotions and your feelings as an adult. You're not a child still developing and don't really know what's going on, That's such a scary thing. But as an adult, it's just like, it's okay to try those things. But even when you try those things, it's scary. It's scary because it makes you feel completely out of your body. Out of your body. And so the stuff I was taking, it did work for the time being because I couldn't stay awake. And I'm naturally, an energetic type of person. I have good stamina. I have, I'm alert and awake, but I couldn't stay awake for the life of me. I'm just like driving and wanting to fall asleep every 5 minutes. And I'm just like, and I was healthy at the time. I didn't know what was going on with me. And it was definitely, I was going through a lot of traumatic events personally in my life that, it was draining me. And then I just got really depressed, and, I was still up doing everything I needed to do, but it was just very hard to stay awake. Very hard to stay awake. So that's like, I felt when you said how your uncle was saying, please just give me the energy to, be up. I felt that. Like, felt like that was me. It's because it debilitates you. Like, you can't move. Like, you can't get up and even though you look like you're fine and you're doing everything you're doing, but on the inside, you just feel like you're drained. So drained. Like, I could hit the pillow and fall out instantly, at any given moment. It's just like, and it shouldn't be like that. And I could sleep for hours on end, and it shouldn't be like that. Your body shouldn't be like that. So it's definitely scary. Definitely scary. The medications are definitely scary, especially at such a young age. It's I can imagine putting my daughter on those type of pills, but I definitely had her in therapy at 8. Because we went through some pretty traumatic stuff, and she benefited from it. And just giving her an outlet and just be, 100% with her in the beginning. It's just like, this is for you to speak what you need to just speak about. It's not for me. It's not for your dad. It's not for anybody else. This is a safe space for you, and just entering that into her life at such a young age. So when she does become older and goes through all the things that we've been through and have had to dealt with, as adults, that she knows she can get the help that she needs outside of me or her dad or church,
Yeah.
Definitely. And,
so. And like props to her mama.
Thank you. Thank you.
For instilling that into her. That's
and your parents as well. I mean, you just never know. But once you know it's there, it's an outlet for you. It's just another healthy, safe outlet for you. Before when I was going, it's just like it was mandated because like my mom didn't know what was wrong with me. I was running around doing all types of stuff, getting into trouble, and then I was on probation. So then I was mandated to go to counseling and therapy and speak to them. But if I wouldn't have gotten in all the trouble, I wouldn't have had that outlet. And I wouldn't have known about that type of stuff, until I got older.
Yeah.
So definitely I took those steps and continued on my education and trying to figure out what all this dysfunction is in my life, and studied, and here I am.
Here you are. Thursday therapies.
So how do you feel like the world's understanding on mental health has changed since you became aware of mental health in your world?
I feel like we're more open to discussing mental health, especially after the pandemic, because we all had to sit within ourselves and sit in it. Like, whatever we were going through, we couldn't just forget about it for the next day. We couldn't just numb it away, and I'm sure a lot of people were numbing. We couldn't distract ourselves from it. And unfortunately, a lot of people couldn't deal with the things that were sitting inside them. And so, unfortunately, we lost a lot of people during that time.
Right. Not just from COVID. From mental health issues and not being able to cope and deal with the stress. And, people already had weak bodies and weak hearts, and weak minds, and a lot of suicide, a lot of, death, because of heart issues. And still, even now, people, just because the pandemic's over, people are still dealing with those issues.
We never got to address, people were like, oh, we're free, we can go outside now. And and just nobody discussed, the whole world was shut down.
It was creepy.
It's creepy.
Right.
No, we should be discussing how is that on our mental health.
Right. And that's the most heightened level of fight or flight, scare. But where the fuck are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? You can't go outside. Where are you gonna go? And
6 feet.
Right. The unknown. Just the unknown. Not knowing if you're gonna wake up tomorrow and your mom's gonna. That was my biggest fear. That was that my mom was gonna pass away during the pandemic. And thank God she didn't. I had her throughout that whole time, and she passed away after 2022. But that was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear, is because of COVID. And she didn't die of COVID. It was because of other issues.
Yeah.
And that's what so many people are passing from, and it's just check yourself, check your mental health, check yourself, check your health. I say that because I think it could have been prevented if she would have managed her health better, and with a lot of people, if they manage their health better, which is hard.
Yeah.
Life is hard. Life is life and life is hard.
Life
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely after, COVID, it's become, people have become more aware of it, and it's out there,
Yeah.
more readily, in some communities. In some communities, it's still not, it's still not.
It's still not.
And there's still a big stigma on it, and there's still a lot of mistrust for mental health and therapy and getting help, even medical help. So what can you do to bring more awareness to mental health in our community? I know you're doing a lot already, with what you're doing and giving back to the children and the poetry scene.
Yeah. I would say I feel as if I could be more vulnerable about how my mental health has affected me and affected my either writing or music, in the sense that when I go to perform these pieces, that are really big pieces, but take so much out of me on stage, like I'm pouring my heart out, and then I go off stage and you're like, yeah, snap it up, and that's all well appreciated, and I feel good about that. But being a little bit more honest about how things are off stage, because after pouring my heart out, the wound is open,
right?
And I go back home and the wound is still open, and I maybe have to stitch up my own wounds and lick my paws and figure it out. But also understand that I not alone in it as well, because the same people who come up to me after the show and tell me, hey, this really touched me, thank you, that also helps with my healing as well,
right.
A little goes a long way,
Right.
So yeah, I guess being really honest about how I feel after those big pieces that I've poured my heart out.
No, we really really it's therapeutic, but at the same time it brings up old wounds, and you still have to go home and deal with it. And that's why I'm like, Thursday therapies, get another outlet, get self-care in there, do things to help you cope on and off the stage. Because coping is writing this poetry and putting it out there for people to hear it in healing, but at the same time, like you said, it's opening up your wounds again, and you have to relive what you wrote about, and it's hard to keep thinking about that and letting it ruminate in your head, and then you start getting in your own head, and then the pressures get on, and you just keep thinking about it. It's just like, that's why it's really, really healthy for you to get outside help.
It's very healthy to get outside help. Also know that you have resources.
Right.
You have these resources. Please do not keep all of these things inside of you. Please go and talk to someone.
Right.
Please go and talk to someone. There is a wealth of community and resources for you. You are not alone, I promise.
Right.
So, yeah.
Definitely. Great advice. So what would the advantage be for seeking outside support therapy for yourself? Do you believe in it, and do you trust it?
I do believe in it, and I do trust it.
Yes, that's great. Because it is. I have to ask that question, because even though I know I've heard you talk about it and go into it, but a lot of people still don't trust, telling their business to other people and tell them really being vulnerable with exactly what's going on in their mind to other people.
True. I feel like it's extremely important to find someone who you resonate with and who you can trust. So it's not just stopping at one person,
right?
But it's definitely continuing the search, because you should know that this is important for you. Please continue to search, continue to advocate for yourself. Yes, in that sense, it's hard to advocate for yourself. We shouldn't have to.
Right.
We should be able to get the help that we need without having to be pull teeth,
And that's what it's like, pulling teeth.
Especially for folks in the Black community and people POC communities. I feel it's extremely important to find somebody who looks like you, in the sense, because they will be able to resonate with the finer details of what you are going through that are specific towards culture and yes, culture
and your well-being. I 100% agree. I think we need more people of color therapists out there, definitely, that can help, so go to school, be a therapist.
Go to school, be a therapist.
We need more of you.
We need more.
We definitely do, and I say that a lot on Thursday therapies, that if you don't feel it and you don't feel it in your gut, you don't have to seek that therapist. Like a lot of people, because they have their managed care plan and that's who they're assigned to. It's just because you're assigned to a doctor or a therapist doesn't mean that has to be your doctor or therapist. You have to be an advocate for yourself and go with your gut. And if your gut's telling you that this isn't working out, then you have the right to request another therapist. You have a right to request another doctor, and don't give up on the first, second, or even third therapist, and then sometimes you get with a great therapist and they work out for months or maybe even years, but then you might outgrow them. Your needs might outgrow them. So you always have to be the CEO of your own health and mental health and advocate for yourself. Like if something isn't right or isn't flowing right, then move on from it. Growth is key. Growth is key. Definitely. So who else can offer you helpful support in managing mental health other than a therapist or a doctor or
who else can offer you?
Because it takes a village. It takes a village, definitely, in community.
Yeah, definitely reach out to your friends and maybe
trustworthy friends.
Trustworthy,
because I would tread lightly with that because a lot of friends have bias. And so that might not be really healthy for your mental health.
Absolutely.
If you tell them stuff, they might, not be the most healthiest person to. But if you have really close, trustworthy friends that you can express yourself to vulnerably, then that's cool. Or like a family member.
Yeah. Definitely the folks who are closest to you, for sure. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Definitely. So what are some coping skills that you use to get through hard times?
Well, yes, writing is one of them. Just because I think it's important to, like, whatever you're feeling, it should come out of you and it shouldn't stay in you. Also, if writing is a tool, music is a wonderful tool. Creating music. Singing is such a beautiful thing to do because it helps regulate your nervous system. Yoga. I am also a yoga teacher.
Wow, learning new things.
I'm a yoga teacher. I'm still on that journey. It's a lifelong journey, but using your breath to help like regulate you in the sense of like movement and breath, really, just to kind of get like whatever you're feeling, just like, okay, we're moving through it because a lot of times we can store trauma within our bodies. And
definitely. It does.
Yeah, you can store trauma in your body. And then one day you're just like, I guess, on your yoga mat or doing whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be super hard or anything. But whatever you're needing in that moment, it'll start to come up.
Right.
And you should allow it to come up, because it's just been stored in there.
Right.
And, I think that I think yoga has been super helpful for me to kind of help regulate some anxieties that I have sometimes.
Nice.
So, dancing is a beautiful thing. Movement is
even if you don't know how to dance, because I ain't no dancer and I still like to boogie.
Do what makes you feel good, spending time in your community, especially spending time in your community, because when you're alone and you start to isolate, it's not good for you. I've been there before. Like you're like, once it starts to feel like, all right, I've been in the house. I've been isolating. I've been dwelling on these things. I've been in it.
Right.
I need to get out of it. I need to spend time with some close loved ones and community and the folks who see you for who you truly are,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So what do you do for self-care?
What do I do for self-care? Well, I do, sometimes I like to do nothing.
Right.
Sometimes I like to do nothing.
Binge out on a Netflix series or something.
Sometimes I love to eat. Sometimes I like to take myself out. Like, it's my birthday month and I'm planning to kind of go to the ocean by myself.
I love that. That's the best self-care. When's your birthday?
May 17th.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. Okay,
mine's
Gemini.
the 30th. Hey,
Okay.
shout out. And the beach is my favorite also.
Okay.
I love it. I was just meditating earlier today and picturing myself on the beach. and my feet in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best.
It's the best time.
It is the best,
It's the best
isn't it? The
time.
best feeling. The best is just everything. Just listening to the waves and watching the people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being out in nature as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really just need to get out of your environment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nature is extremely healing. So.
It is, and it's beautiful. I was just driving by this beautiful, vibrant, purplish color bush today, and I just was like amazed at God's work. Like, wow. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Life is beautiful. It can be beautiful, you know, once you start managing your mental health and seeing life for what it really is and getting out of that dark place.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears.
Okay.
Let's switch gears. We talked a lot about mental health and heard a lot about you. I'm learning more about you, and it's beautiful. I love this part, you know, speaking and getting to know people more. But also, you have many talents. You have many, 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 many talents, and I'm learning more about them tonight. So I first seen you, I think, at Torch Club.
Yeah.
I think it was the Torch Club. I seen you, and I was like, fuck. Your voice is just so captivating, and I was just
Thank you.
That's amazing. And I just see how raw and uncut, and you just how beautiful. You're such a beautiful artist, and watching you perform was just like, wow, she's amazing.
Thank you.
She is amazing, and it's just like every time I see you, and I just can't wait to hear you. Just hear your voice. Like, it is so healing. It's so healing to be able to hear you. So,
thank you.
do you want to share a piece? Do you want to share a poem? Do you have some? You know, you want to share a song? Maybe abundance, or something. You know, or a poem, or you know.
Okay. I think I have something. Probably not abundance right now.
Yeah, no, that takes a lot of energy, and you've been out working, hustling and grinding all day.
Okay, I have one. A love that lifted me without apology. A love that welcomes in the joy I've been searching for within. Oh, that kind of love. A love that holds me tight, warms me up and fills my cup, and shuts all of my enemies up. A love that takes my hand and leads me to new beginnings. I know I can manage that, since is what I've been asking for. Too long since I've found my way back home. I found God in me. I found divinity abundantly. My joy's got me breathing. It's got me seeing my light. I know I can manage that, since it's what I've been asking for. Too long since I've found my way back home. I found my way back home. Found my way back home. I found my way back home. Found my way back home.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, you made my heart flutter. It's so beautiful. Your voice is so beautiful. I love listening to you.
Thank you.
I do. I can't wait for that solo.
Okay.
Don't think I didn't forget. So when's that coming?
Girl. Soon. I believe I'll be recording a lot this summer, so hopefully by fall, winter.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I'm like, every time I hear you, I'm just like, that's so amazing. Your voice is amazing, and just your whole aura, it puts off great vibes, great vibes, and I'm so grateful that you're on the show.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. So what you got going on in the community? I know you got a lot of things going on in the community. You work here, you work there, you teach kids piano lessons, vocal lessons, you're out here on these scenes creating poetry, First Church of Poetry, you know, you're in so many, I see you at so many different venues. So many. I'm like, does she ever sleep?
Girl.
Right.
Yeah.
But that goes to say about me. But do I ever sleep? Yeah, no, I sleep. Self-care. Sleep is the number one self-care thing for me. Like, I do not want to burn out.
Yeah. I'm kind of taking a step back from, performing right now, just because I'm kind of in the process of writing for this project that I'm working on. I'm not ready to reveal the name of it quite yet.
Okay.
But it just involves a lot of the people in my community that I feel have inspired me and really poured into me. Really poured into my cup and told me that, like, yo, you've got this, you can do this, you are, you know,
amazing.
Everything.
You fucking right. You got it. You got it.
And when for a while I didn't think that,
That's that mental health. We get in our heads.
Yeah.
We get in our heads so much, and it doesn't go away. Some days are better than others.
Yeah.
But you got it, girl. You got it.
Thank you.
I see it.
Thank
I'm
you.
like, who is this star? I thought you already was. I'm like, where's her album at? I'm like, I need to rock that abundance. Every morning. I'm like, yes, that is my anthem for the year. Yes.
Thank you.
I love it. So you got that project going on. I know you have First Church of Poetry.
Yeah.
That is, we talked about it a little bit earlier, what came about that? This is my first year coming.
So it started 2022, sort of coming out of the pandemic. I started it with my co-creator, Andrew Defy, the former poet laureate of Sacramento.
Andrew. I'm waiting. Andrew, when you coming on the show?
When you coming on the show? Really, really amazing person. One of the folks who's really inspired and poured into me, and essentially, First Church of Poetry came about because we were all looking for a sense of connection,
right? And
so one of our slogans is the only devil is disconnection.
Facts.
Yeah.
Isolation. We all were isolated during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Left our own vices, left in our own minds, in a cell in our own home, in a cell in our own mind. Scary. It's a scary place to be.
A really scary place to be, especially when you feel like you're all alone in it. And like we said before, like everyone was kind of sitting in it. And during the time of the pandemic, there were a lot of protests.
Yeah,
there were a lot of protests. That
was scary.
That was extremely scary, and we showed up and activated, and then had to go home and deal with our unregulated nervous systems,
and not know if it was going to be us next or our family members next.
Yeah,
from COVID or the shootings.
Yeah. And so it just really was a space for us to really come together and create our own sanctuary space, because we both come from like Christian backgrounds, and, we have our own relationships with God and our own personal relationships. And so we were like, okay, let's call it the First Church of Poetry.
I love it.
This is a space for everyone.
I love it. And I'm late every time because I'm coming from church every time to get there.
That's good.
Like,
that's okay. Come for the second service.
Right, come for the second service. Right. Get your dose. That's such an awesome creation that you guys put together. I love it. I wish that it didn't have to end, and I wish that I can make more of them. As much as I can. I try. With kids and hustle and bustle of life. But that's one of my favorite places to do poetry is at the park. It's a beautiful place. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful place.
Right next to the Rose Garden.
Yep.
From April to May. We stop at May because it gets too hot in June.
Right. What else do you have going on? You got any other projects or events coming up?
I've been, So I've been a part of, I'm also a musician, so I play a lot of key bass.
Nice.
And I've been doing a lot of shows with Nicole Gentry. She's an amazing.
She is.
She's so amazing.
Yes. Nicole, when you coming on Thursday Therapies?
Girl,
Look, I'm shouting everybody out. Come on down.
No, an amazing person to have on. Really tells it like it is, and also is extremely supportive and extremely inspiring. She has an event called Nicole Gentry Presents, along with her partner, co-creator. They gonna get me when they see this.
It'll come back to you.
Woo! They're gonna be like, "Girl, how you forget my name?" Darius okay. From George Knapp.
Nice.
And so every couple of months they present an artist from our community, and we put together rehearsals. We put together just a place to give people flowers. Their flowers. And so for the first Nicole Gentry she presented me, and it was so sweet.
Yes,
it was so
well
sweet.
Earned.
We've done
That's
a lot
amazing.
of work. We've done a lot of work together, and
nice.
I like to call her my mentor, but
I love it.
she be
That's another outlet. We all need mentors. It takes a village.
We do.
Community. That's dope. No, she is amazing. I've heard her before.
She's an amazing person, and a lot of people can attest to that.
Yes.
So yeah, that's another project that I'm also a part. I get to be a part of. I was also in the beginning of this year I was one of the not co-creators, but one of the I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Essentially, me and a couple of poets got to go up to a place called Crescent City because we helped coach some of the young poets up there.
Nice.
For Poetry Out Loud,
wow.
Which is a youth competition for high school students. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful city, filled with a lot of history.
Nice.
A lot of generational trauma happening, of course.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But essentially, we're helping, these kids really learn how to use their voices and speak up. And, they're doing amazing, amazing work up there. So it's just so nice to be able to see the impact that you have be passed down to generations.
I love that.
So it's just,
you're out here putting in work. I love that.
Good.
That's amazing. That's what we need. Bring more awareness. Bring the youth up, uplift the youth, and bring them right along, and be that outlet for them. Keep them out of that's unhealthy, toxic space, and just let them know that there is a different way with your mind.
There is.
The mind is very scary to be in it alone, but there's ways out of it. Writing poetry, music, being creative and getting out of your mind is the way to go.
It is.
And this community for me has been great. Everybody's showing up. Everybody's coming on Thursday Therapies and really just, asking me about coming on the show. And it's just growing way bigger than I ever thought. So Oprah's going to be on the scene soon.
Come on. I'm Shay, and I'm in.
Right. So, it's just amazing. It's amazing what you can do if you continue to ask for help and advocate for yourself and put yourself in community for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and there's people like you, there's people like me, there's people like Ashanti and Torch out here, you know, having these outlets, Woodswork Media, you know, for people to be able to have a voice and get all that shit that's inside of them out. You know,
Yeah.
that's therapies.
That's
Thursday
therapy.
therapies. You know, that's what I'm talking about.
therapies.
So, yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the work you're doing in the community. I love your voice and appreciate it. You know, we need more of that. I ain't got no voice like that. You know, I do some rap, but I definitely cannot hit them keys like like Diamond Key.
Not too much, because you be up there in Torch with the bars. Like, let's go.
Yeah. So, no, definitely this creative scene and this whole switching gears in my life has been amazing to be able to meet all you amazing people, and then to have you on this platform to be able to spread the love and give back. Definitely, it's been a true pleasure having you on here.
Thank you.
So, do you have any? I already said that. Sorry. Yeah. What can you tell our listeners to encourage them to get help with their mental health? Your camera's over there. Tell the listeners, you know, what's some good advice that you could tell them that they could use to, you know, maybe take the first step in getting some help, or writing that first poem, or, you know, what can you tell them?
I would say that I think it's extremely important to know that you are not alone. It's so important to know that you are not alone, even when you feel like you are. There are people in our community, in your community, that want to see you feel good and feel joyful again. You know, we are able to hold the bottom of our lows and the highest of our highs all at the same time. And if there is a way for you to get it out of you, I would say write, of course. Write, sing, move, do whatever it takes. Do not sit in it. Don't try not to sit in it, okay? Right. Because you matter. Your life matters. And we want to continue to tell the stories that matter. So
thank you.
You got it.
That's so deep. Thank you. Yes. You matter. You matter. You matter. You matter. Definitely. We all matter. And it's just reaching out for help, for sure. Thank you. Thank you. So where can people find you? Instagram, Facebook, shout out.
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram, on Diamond the Musical on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I be posting sometimes, you know, as Diamond Key. Sometimes you can find me on TikTok as Diamond the Musical, but I'm mostly on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. So hit me up if you want to work, and hit me up if you want to just support and
come out to First Church of Poetry.
First Church of Poetry.
Yeah.
Sunday from 12 to 2.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where at?
McKinley Park, right next to the Rose Garden.
Right next to the Rose Garden. It's beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, check yourself, check your mental health. Thank you for coming on the show. It was a pleasure, and have a good night.
Thank you for having me.